Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome into the Gramlich and McLean podcast presented by Ingalls, episode 278. We are continuing our Florida State week. We had a Florida State preview kind of spring updates episode on Monday with our guy, EJ Manuel. So if you missed that, go check it out. It seems that most of our Seminole fans did not miss it, so we really appreciate that. But I loved what EJ had to say, and I thought it was very interesting talking about how, in his opinion, Florida State is the favorite going into college football season to win the Atlantic Coast Conference. Both Mac and I and EJ all think Florida State has a very, very good chance of making the playoff. The one guy, or one of the main guys they're going to have to replace, is Jammie Robinson, who we get to talk to today. Jammie Robinson, an absolute ball hawk in the secondary, going to be a big-time NFL draft pick and prospect. And I remember when we had Jim Nagy on after the Senior Bowl, he said that Jammie Robinson was someone that really, really impressed him at the Senior Bowl. So this was a great interview. This was, again, during March Madness. This is probably the last interview that I had to miss due to March Madness duties. So Eric McLean handled it beautifully. And Jammie talks about his journey, right? He started at South Carolina. And when his coaching staff got fired, he said he was very loyal to the Muschamp coaching staff, and he wanted to look elsewhere. He decided to transfer back to Florida State. It ended up being a real blessing because, unfortunately, he had a family tragedy. His mom's house caught on fire, but now he was only an hour and a half from FSU, so he could go back home every weekend and help her with that. And he talks about how he's doing all of this for his mom, which I just thought was really cool. And he talked about helping to change the program, deciding to come back last year. And, really he did. I mean, he made his mark on Florida State and on this program. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And now he's off to a very bright NFL future. So before we talk to Jammie, I do want to remind you guys that this episode and just the Gramlich and McLean podcast in general is brought to you by our great friends over at Ingalls. You know what's coming up this weekend? It's Easter weekend. And I was in Ingalls the other day. They've got the eggs everywhere. They've got the Easter decor. They've got all the food you could possibly want for your Easter lunch or Easter dinner. And, we have Easter, of course. It's also Masters weekend, too. Let's not forget that. So they've got your pimento cheese. They've got your egg salad. They've got all the stuff you want to get ready for a really fun Masters weekend. And one of the many, many things that we love about Ingalls is how they partner with local people and local farmers and local producers to stock their stores. So let's check out this video from Ingalls about why it's so important for them to partner with local people.
At Ingalls, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top quality, fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Jammie Robinson, man, I've been looking forward to this interview for quite some time. The first time we met back at Media Day over the summer, and just, one of my favorite players to watch, the way that you play football. And I think it was really capped off with this bowl season when, so many prospects are opting out and don't want to play and this and that. And you said, I'm a football player. Like, I'm playing this game. That just put a cherry on top of what I thought about you. So thank you for joining us today, my man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be on, man. Let's talk.
Let's go all the way back to when you were at South Carolina and you decided you needed a change. You put your name in the transfer portal and you decided on Florida State. How did that happen? Because that was a time where things were trying to change at Florida State.
I mean, honestly, man, I started off, being mentored by one of the greatest men on earth named Shelton Felton in like my 9th grade year. So throughout that time in high school, I made changes, just becoming a student of the game early. He was the head coach, so I was always around him talking ball and stuff. So pretty much like my IQ of the game, it got extremely high early. And just being able to, be coached and taught tough love, at an early age, it made me become a better man, I could say, in my whole life. But, I went through high school, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, transferred, went to Lee County High School, Coach Fabrizio, at Lee County in South Georgia. You know, we ended up winning 6A championship. That was one of my biggest dreams, you know, and we did it. So after that, you know, I had a decision I could make to go to college football, and Will Muschamp, my head coach at South Carolina at the time, Jammie Robinson, my defensive coordinator at the time, you know, they had a great plan for me, you know, so I was high on them, you know, South Carolina, and I just fell in love with the plan that they had for me, being able to play early, you know what I'm saying, and help out with the team. So, you know, my freshman year, sophomore year there, I was, you know, meeting with the grad assistants, you know, learning the playbook so I can play fast, and just being able to be versatile, honestly. And that was my thing. You know, coach them let me play nickels, both safety positions. And, you know, it was overwhelming and fun for me, you know what I'm saying, just being able to, like, you know, learn a lot, you know what I'm saying, and just be a student of the game. So once those 2 years at South Carolina, you know, it was up and down, you know, we was not winning as much. They fired my coaches, and, you know, after that, I was so committed to my coaches and the plan that they had for me, you know, on the business side, and just where my heart made me to go to school at, you know, as a coming out of high school as a senior, you know, I had that relationship. But they got fired, so I just wanted to get closer back to home, you know what I'm saying, and as soon as I hopped in the portal, Coach Mike Norvell, my head coach at Florida State, and my defense coordinator, Adam Fuller, they was on me. Even Coach Woodson, the corners coach, he was on me as well. So it was like, you know, I'm just weighing my options. My oldest brother, he's a diehard Seminole fan, but I was just always, you know, weighing my options. But it was just like, shoot, Florida State, honestly, an hour and 35 minutes from home, you know, it'll make it easier for my mom and them to just drive down. My mom come stay weekends with me now. You know, it's crazy, like, just because I'm so close to home. But dude, when I got here, you know, they had a great blueprint for me, just being able to play the nickel position, blitz off the edge, you know, covering the slot, play both safeties positions. You know, I was sold on that because, once again, I love to play football and I love to be a student of the game. So, honestly, that was why I chose Florida State, just because closer to home, you know, the plan that Mike Norvell, my defense coordinator, Adam Fuller, had for me. You know what I'm saying? And I was always committed to that. So once I got here, you know, first year at Florida State, you know, mom house caught on fire, so I was back and forth from home during spring training. Gosh. Yeah, like spring training had just started, so that's when I committed to come here my first year, and it was just like boom. Mom house caught on fire, so I'm back and forth from home, you know what I'm saying, during spring. But honestly, I feel like that made us closer as a team, you know, just seeing the guys reaching out, checking in with me, you know, me going home every weekend, having to drive back, you know, for 3 to 4 months while my mom lived in a hotel, live with her.
Wow.
You know,
oh, my gosh.
You know what I'm saying? But I felt like once I made that decision and went through that, and how everybody just, you know, wrapped around me, the community, the fans, you know, they helped out, and it just, you know, the love was there. You feel me? The love was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
wow, man.
Yeah, that was the main reason, and you know, just seeing my mom happy, you know, being able to play here. After my junior year went off, we was losing. We went like 4-6. We didn't have a good year, but I didn't like that taste in my mouth. So I was just like, man, I got to come back for my senior year. You know, be more of a leader. You know what I'm saying, and just help change the program. And honestly, I did small things. You know, we got the guys. We watched film at my crib. You know what I'm saying? Just small little things. You know, just trying to be like a big bro. But you know what I'm saying? It took some time just because I had to, you know, gain the respect from my teammates and my coaches.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I felt like going into my second year here, it was easy for me to just go ahead and, you know, take the throne and just, you know, be that leader. And I feel like that's one thing that I made a change in, just being a leader, being like a brother's keeper. You know, someone needs to call on me. You know, someone need to talk. I'm always there for them. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that made the season go different. And as you can see, you know, we ended up winning 10 games. We won a bowl game. You know, I felt like we won the Super Bowl, honestly, in my opinion.
Right.
This was my first year winning. You know what I'm saying? We got some rings. It was like, dude, I can't go out. No, you know, it's easy for me to leave. So that made my decision much easier. And you know, I was just sold on just being able to declare and make it.
Man, that's amazing. Wow. I mean, there's so much to unpack right there. I mean, what a just a God thing that you did move back. You did go to Florida State to be there for your mom. I mean, I couldn't imagine if you would have went to the West Coast or something crazy and then that happened. So I know that's such a blessing, and to have that affirmation when tragedy hits and your coaches, your teammates, everybody wraps their arms around you. I know that was just kind of a really cool thing for you in maybe one of your darkest hours, that everybody's like, hey, we got you, anything we can do. And then you get into the season, man, and my gosh, I mean, you talked a little bit about last year and starting 0-4, and everybody just like, what the heck is going on? Like, we thought Florida State was going to be different, and you guys flipped it around, and you decided to come back, and we see why. I mean, the season that you had, the way that you specifically played, really these last 2 years, man, was just – it was impressive to say the least. You talk about your versatility. You talk about moving all over the place. I mean, how – you mentioned your high school, coach – and some coaches you had along the way, but how are you able to just consume all that knowledge and be comfortable in like 4 or 5 different positions on the defense?
I mean, honestly, when I was in school, I probably was a knucklehead, but I was smart. You know what I'm saying? I was smart in school. You know what I'm saying? So it was like football way more easier, and I'm just like learning like I do in school, honestly.
Sure.
It just made it easier for me. And I just love to play the ball, so as much as I could get involved with the game plan or whatever we need to do, I'm trying to be involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes,
where do you feel the most comfortable or most dangerous? Like, is there a position on the field where you're like, I'm making plays?
When I'm dangerous, I'm playing that nickel so I can blitz off the edge, get in the run game and, cover the best receiver in the slot.
Yeah. What's your plan when you're blitzing? Like, if you see a big dog, a left tackle or something, what's your plan there versus maybe if you see just a running back coming after you?
Oh, you got to use speed with them big guys. For sure. But when I got the little guys and the running backs, I'm trying to be more power because I know, they're not too big. But the O-line is 6'7", all that on speed, dipping the drive under, all that type of stuff because, I can't let them grab on me.
That's right. So with the I feel that. With the running back, I mean, are you going straight through his chest? Are you picking a side and trying to make the quarterback go somewhere else?
It depends on the blitzes, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The blitz pattern, that matters a lot, honestly. So
just staying in your lane, you're saying?
Yes, sir, for sure. You can't get out leverage. You can't, get washed down or something in a sense. You got to, keep the edge on the defense. It's certain type of blitz techniques you got to have.
Sure. There it is, man. That smart football player. I'm trying to bait you into giving me stuff, and you're giving me the school answer. I love that. Well, let's go back to the Noles for a second, man, because I think a lot of people on the outside who maybe have seen, Florida State from afar, or maybe don't cover the team or the conference as close, maybe thought that this kind of came out of nowhere. How did you guys erupt? What was the secret sauce for this 10-win season where at the end of the year – we're talking about a top 15, top 10 team that is just feeling really good?
I mean, honestly, just Coach Norvell, like how he is as a person, and then as just like a coach, like he's gonna be the same every day, and that's being a person and a coach. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't be no different. You know what I'm saying? He always focusing on the small things. That's one thing I learned when I got here. Like, it'll be times like we getting up, we walking in the building. How you walk in the building is the way, you know what I'm saying, your day gonna go throughout the whole day, your whole schedule. Like if you come in there with a mindset that's not good, that's gonna affect your whole day. And I feel like every day he's coming in the same, and that's one thing I take on from him, like just being able to, if you're not feeling good, you better feel good. You know what I'm saying? and wear that smile on your face. And honestly, that's one thing I learned from him. And it just real, like, it's a real program, I can honestly say. Like, you're not going to get nothing fake. When you get here is what you see. Like, for all the recruits that come through and they see tour duty, they see, you know what I'm saying, the meetings, how the meetings set up. That's going to be every day. It's not going to be any different. Yeah. That's one thing I can say. Like, the consistency of just how the coaches coach us, honestly.
Right. Well, it's a common answer, whether I'm, asking Jared Verse or yourself or Jordan, whoever we talk to, when we ask, okay, what's the secret sauce? What's the success? They all say Coach Norvell. So I guess what maybe makes him different, because you have been a couple of different places. You've obviously played football for a very long time. What separates him to be this great coach that maybe can lead Florida State back to, the promised land where they're just killing people?
I mean, one thing, because I've always been around tough coaches. He's that for sure. Smart for sure. I just can say, like, his in-practice intensity, honestly. I can say that one. I feel like he's more, like, involved with a lot of every position, honestly. He help out with the offensive coordinator too. He help out with offensive calls, and then you'll see in one period he in the back of us telling us to sprint to the ball. I'm like, she's like, it's just like he's always.
Where'd he come from?
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly how it'd be, like, where he come from. But that's one thing I can say. Like, he's gonna be that hands-on coach for real. Like, he's gonna be in every drill work. He's gonna be in every position drill work. He's gonna be there. Honestly, that's what I can say. Like, he's the guy that's gonna be there for everyone. Like,
right. Just seems like
he really
super passionate. Yeah,
right. Yeah, passionate. That's one thing I can say. He's definitely passionate. And I'm passionate too, because we done had a couple run-ins where it's just like the passionate sides get to both of us. You know what I'm saying? It's all love, though.
Yeah, peel back the curtain. I mean, what happened? Are you guys having to be separated? What's the deal there? What happened?
Oh, man. Hey, man.
I feel you. I understand. That's awesome. And, I mean, that was something, man, we got the opportunity to come down and visit with you guys at practice, this past fall. And that was the first time I had seen him, in practice, kind of in his environment doing his thing. And, man, it's something where – you want to be coached like that, like as players.
Everything. Yeah, it's like it's there. Like,
yeah, no doubt about it.
I can honestly say you don't feel bad in the game, because like in practice, how Coach Norvell be, and then to the game day, Coach ain't saying a word on the sideline.
Right.
Coach ain't really saying nothing on game day. You know what I'm saying? But in practice, I feel like, shoot, man, when we get to the game time, we be more relaxed and chill, because
no doubt,
just how the week go,
right? You put in the work. You put in the work. Now it's time to go play. Man, that's fascinating. One more thing on Florida State, and I do want to move on and talk about the future with you. I mentioned Jordan Travis and the things that he had gotten better at and the consistency. I felt like that first couple of games where you guys were struggling, it was almost like, whose team is it? Is it Jordan's team? Is it this guy's team? Is it that guy's team? And then we started to see some trust. And then this past season, you go on, win 10 games. It's totally his team, his playbook, all the trust in the world. What was the biggest thing that you maybe saw that was different from him 21 to 22?
I mean, 21 to 22, honestly, I didn't see no difference. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see no changes from Jordan, for real. Like, besides, when I just came back from training, I see he done gained like 15 pounds. Like, he looking kind of big.
Whoa.
I tell him, like, his head, man. I seen his head. I'm like, dang, bro. You done gained some weight or something. But honestly, I can say, like, he ain't changed, like, from the first year I was here to the second year. Honestly, like, he's out there flying around. Every day he's practicing. You know what I'm saying? He might be sick, banged up, or anything, and he's practicing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a strong guy. He's fast, and he's definitely smart.
Yeah. No question about it.
Like he ain't changed, bro. He ain't changed. I been knew he was gonna be that. And honestly, what I can say to like the fans, I feel like sometimes it usually be the fans. Like, that was kind of like the worst thing. But
sure,
I can say now everybody love him. But that's what I looked at, just from being a football player too. Like, you gonna have people who's gonna ride the wave, and then, if you do something messed up or something, they gonna hate you. But everybody love my boy now. You know what I'm saying? You know how I be, but
it's just like it.
He ain't changed, though. Jordan haven't changed throughout everything. You know what I'm saying? He the same guy every day.
That's
feel
awesome.
me? My hat's off to him. He's a great player for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that consistency is what you need at the position. I mean, it takes to that mental, kind of wherewithal there to take the hate, but also the love. And as you said, be that same guy each and every day. That's amazing to hear that. I can't wait to see him this year. The hype's about to be absolutely nuts. All right, let's put all the attention on you, my man, because you've had a great career, capped it off with 2 seasons at Florida State, did your thing, get invited to the Senior Bowl, get invited to the Combine. What were those experiences like? Let's start with the Senior Bowl, where you were named Safety of the Week by your teammates and really just put on a show all week.
Sure. What I can say about this whole path is, like, it's a dream, because I knew it could happen, but I just had to live through it and not rush anything. You know what I'm saying? But just coming from where I'm coming from, my mom raising 6 boys,
Wow.
single parent, you feel me? So it's like, it's a whole lot throughout the whole
She's
process.
a superhero, man. Oh my gosh.
For sure. She definitely is. And I can say, like, she the main reason why I'm doing this, but it's my life at the end of the day. But It's like, bro, like, I'm doing this for her, and every day I wake up and I just be thankful because it's a dream, honestly. Like, I wanted to be in the NFL, I wanted to play on Madden, all that type of stuff. And I was like, shoot, in a month I'm gonna get drafted, or anything. I'm gonna be able to play in the NFL or something. Man. It's just been a dream, you know what I'm saying? I've been staying down for it, working hard, coming from a small town.
How about that?
It just really, I don't know. I really don't.
That's awesome, man. So you said 6 brothers. Where are you in the pecking order there? Oldest, youngest?
No, sir. It's one younger than me, and then it's me.
Okay.
We're a year and a day apart. And then
how about that?
My brother got 8 kids.
Wow.
Yeah, we deep.
That's right. That's right. So how was the combine, man? Because we've talked to a bunch of people in the ACC that participated in that, and I've heard a lot of different things because it's something where, admittedly so, you and I think are on the same page. We're football players. Like, I don't want to be running around in my underwear doing all that stuff. I want to hit people and do my job. But it's the biggest test of your life, and it's the biggest audition of your life. So you get there. It's not just one day go on the field. I mean, you're there for like a week. Walk me through, that process and how it was for you.
I mean, it goes all the way back to me being in Phoenix, Arizona for 2 months, at Exos, training, grinding with Nick, Keegan, and, those guys over there at Exos, and Abigail for keeping my body right. But one thing I can say, the nutritionist part, everything, just being able to commit to, just being consistent with the meal plans, you know what I'm saying, working out, training every day, and just doing all that. So I can say, honestly, getting to the combine was pretty much like the Senior Bowl. Like, when I was at the Senior Bowl, I was around a lot of great players, being able to stand out in front of some NFL scouts, NFL coaches, you know what I'm saying? Our defensive coordinator was the defensive coordinator for the Patriots, the safeties coach for the New Orleans Saints, you know what I'm saying? So I was around a bunch of, NFL teams, and that was crazy to me, so I ain't have no choice but to stand out, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You feel me? But when I got to the combine, it was the same thing, meeting with all the teams again. I met with all the teams again, just told them my story and where I come from, and just gave them the straight up real of, Jammie Robinson and where I'm come from and what I stand on. And pretty much just, when the combine part came, I was already prepared for it, I just wanted to just go out there and just be me, and what I put out was me, and that's honestly what it came down to. The NFL teams, they don't really care about, getting out there, like you mentioned, getting out there with some tights on, running and jumping. They just want to see it. But at the end of the day, your film speaks for everything, and your playing ability, how you play, how fast you be to the ball, and stuff like that matters. So, that was a pretty good, experience, and
no doubt
you can't take back. Everybody don't get invited to the NFL Combine, and once again, when I was there, they had me stand up to get my little Madden picture. Like, they scanned me for the Madden picture. You know what I'm saying? So
that's crazy.
It was all a dream, man.
Right. Wow. So we hear, when you're doing these meetings or interviews, whatever you want to call them, there's some strange questions that might come up. Did anybody ask you anything weird, or did they ask you to do anything?
I mean, I feel like the main thing was just being able to show how smart you is on the game when it came to the game, just your IQ, you know what I'm saying, and just being able to tell the realness of where you come from and stuff like that. They ask about, like off the field issues and stuff. They already know. They just want you to be real and tell them what it is and what it ain't. You feel me? But I honestly I haven't got no crazy question, but
that's good. That's good.
I
when you walked in, they knew it was a real one. They said, "We're not going to waste any time here. We're not going to play around."
Talking ball for sure.
That's right. That's amazing, man. Well, I really appreciate your time. I want to close with this one. The draft's coming up. You've already mentioned 1,000 times how much of a dream come true this is. And I'm so excited for you to experience that and live that. What is the NFL team that drafts you, that the franchise that chooses you, what are they going to get in Jammie Robinson?
Well, honestly, what they gonna get in me, they gonna get a hard-nosed football player. They gonna get a guy that's physical, a guy that's fast, and a guy that's smart. Not the biggest on the field, but on the toughest on the field. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna be able to. I feel like I'm a puzzle piece that could fit anywhere. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be able to put me at different places. Disguise me. Be able to use me to make the team, to help make the team win the Super Bowl. Honestly, that's what they're gonna get.
Hey, I second and third all of that, brother. I've seen it for 2 years. Can't wait for your next opportunity, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric.
Jammie Robinson, what an interview, what a guy, what a great representative of Florida State and of the Atlantic Coast Conference. Appreciate his time. We know he's busy. We cannot wait to see where he ends up in the upcoming NFL draft. And we have a lot more coverage coming for you as we lead into the NFL draft here in April. We're going to talk with some NFL draft gurus to talk about where these ACC guys are going. We're also going to recap some spring games. We have some spring games this weekend. It's already that time to be talking spring games and spring ball. So we'll get into all of that. And then as we get into May, we're going to start our summer guest series where we have some of these big guests that we're very excited to talk to. And I'll just say, y'all get ready because the guests are going to be amazing. We're super pumped. So thanks again to our presenting partner in Ingalls. We appreciate them very much. Thanks again to Eric McLean for handling this interview. He is the GOAT. He's probably on a plane right now to Seattle or wherever his next XFL assignment is. That guy has been working. And thanks again to Jammie Robinson for talking with us. That is all today. We appreciate you listening. Go subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Go subscribe on YouTube. Would really appreciate that. Leave a comment. Tell us what you think. Tell us who you want to hear from this summer on our summer guest series. Follow on social media, all that good stuff. But as Mac would say, until next time, we will see you.